Hola, 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 hola. Hola, ah, vale, ahora yo creo. Ahora, ahora. Ah, hola, ah, vale, ahora yo creo. Ahora, ahora. Ah, hola, ah, vale, ahora yo creo. Ahora, ahora. Ah, probando, 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 test, 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 test. Ah, hola, 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 hola. ¡Ah! Porque aún así es bastante bajo, ¿no? Probando, 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 test, 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 test. Ah, hola, 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 hola. ¡Ah! Porque aún así es bastante bajo, ¿no? Probando, 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 test, 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 test. Ah, hola, 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 hola. ¡Ah! Aún así es bastante bajo. Ah, ah. Okay, I guess I'm going to try to, I don't know, put it. I think I'm going to try to. I think I'm going to try to just put the mic really close because if not, it's barely hearable, I guess. But I don't know. I think I can hear it, so if I can hear it, it's for me alright, I guess. I'm going to test it on the here, like so. Oops. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. No, it's way too low. If I don't put the mic here, it's barely hearable. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I change the settings on OBS or if my microphone broke down while flying or something, like in the plane. Maybe it got to like and it barely hearable. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if. But even like this, it's kind of low. It's always been low, but this low, I think, is new. I don't know. Is it better now? I was doing the tests because I don't know, I haven't tried it. I guess this is annoying because I wanted to do a stream of like reading my notes and so on, but I guess I can do it and like maybe writing on Obsidian or something, some conclusions or whatever, or maybe putting them all together. But I guess I will just read them out and bring like some ideas that I had and so on. How have you been, by the way? I think this is the first streams in Dust, first stream on New Year's. Today I'm not going to do the kind of how do you say? I'm not going to do the classic week review. I'm going to leave that for Sunday. Wait, I'm going to try with something to see how it sounds for me. I'm going to leave that for Sunday. Wait, I'm going to try with something to see how it sounds for me. The good thing about this is that there is no like how do you say interference or whatever. Like I can just say whatever and I can even put the mic here. No, like how do you say? It doesn't do the amplification that destroys the thing. Say whatever and I can even put the mic here. It doesn't do the amplification that destroys.
Okay, test, hola, 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 test, hola, hola, hola. I think this is even louder. And it's just like me speaking to the microphone of the laptop. El cubero elegante. Test, hola, 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 test, hola, hola, hola. I think this is even louder. And it sounds so bad though. It sounds like I'm speaking through like, I don't know, through like an old phone from the 90s or some shit like this. It sounds so bad though. I mean, I'm going to... We were in time 1 take 1. Nice. Yep. 6 p.m. Night time here. I'm good. I guess week was fine. I didn't have work today, but my chef sent me an email asking me to do something, and it was supposed to be urgent, but I didn't notice and reacted 3 hours later. Oops. After work hours, sorry, I have to do that Monday. I think it's louder, but the quality is definitely worse. Yes. I mean, sad. I guess I'll have to figure out what the fuck is going on with this. Well, good to hear that it was a nice week, at least. Today, I'm just going to... It sounds bad but high, but the other one sounded fine but low, too low. Yeah. I'm going to be reading through my notes and maybe writing down some things on the other notes app. Let's see if I put this scene. What about this scene? Okay, then I can put this over here. Okay. There is that. I can do something like this, and then I can do something like this. Perfect. This is what I wanted. Okay. And I can compile the ideas that I've had over time. Today I'm just going to write some ideas that I've had. Over the day, over some days. Is it a capacitive microphone with phantom power? Yep, it has phantom power. For capacitive, I forgot what that means. Capacitive. It's like a cardioid microphone low impedance, I guess, low Z, and dynamic. This is the microphone, by the way, Shure SM57. And yeah, basically what I wanted to do was some ideas that I've had for videos, and I guess let's just go over all of the things and go which ideas could be like a stream topic, which ideas could be like a video, and which ideas are like for other channels, because I have something planned like that. And yeah, then I have another idea that is for this is a ideas stream. Oops. And the stream, and number one, you have to care about superficial useless shit. Okay, I think this is my comment on a video. And yeah, I don't know if I want to put all of the ideas first and then elaborate or something. Pretty damn good brand. Yeah, that it was expensive. It was like €100 or something like that. It was less than 100 because the SM58, which is the most famous Shure mic, was like 120 or something. And I was like, okay, this one is a little bit cheaper. So I bought the SM57. But because it also says like it's good for guitar, and since I play guitar, I was like, maybe one day I'll want to record guitar or something. At the moment, I'm going to just link the thing. Maybe I'll want to. Okay, I have this one is older. This is November, but it's called Why Do I Think I Am a Loser? It's also something I've been thinking recently. And like the definition of loser or whatever, because it's like, I'm going to add this, and let's go to add here something like, if I add it here, something like, because to be a loser, you have to have stuff, shit to lose, which is important, right? Like, not everyone can be a loser. You have to have had in order to be a loser. If you didn't have anything from the beginning, you are not a loser, right? That's the key point of like, you have to have or have had. Because if you lost it, okay. I think that is one thing that I was also thinking recently, so I think it's good. Okay, these are too big. Although I could also go way beyond. I think I already made this AI bubble video. I have some questions to some channels, etc. Okay, I could, let's say these are like video slash stream. Not gonna lie, for YouTube's algorithm to be so good, I still never got another channel from you in my recommendation, even though I watch basically every stream. I haven't published anything in other channels. Like when I say that I want to make a video on another channel of mine, it's like an idea. It's never like done. I have recorded 2 or 3, but I've never uploaded anything. Seems like a Shure SM57. Yeah, it is a Shure SM57. Okay, this is a classic stream idea. Okay, let's separate by video, by stream. A stream idea that I had is just like going on the web flightradar.com or flightradar24.com and checking out what planes are around and all this. Like then you Google one plane, you look up stuff, then you Google, you check them up and you look at the weirdest icons, because sometimes they have like normal commercial airplane icons, but sometimes they're like weirder icons, right? So for example, a private plane or like a helicopter or something, right? And those usually are like juicier because, for example, there are like a lot of Red Cross private planes or things like this, right? So that could be an interesting idea. But let's write this down. Red Cross private planes and helicopters, military stuff, private planes in general. Because in general you can look up which company owns some plane or something. And then you can look up the company and then it tells you something sometimes. Depends on the country. This is my you have to care about superficial useless shit. Then I have some TV shows, German TV shows list, but that's not like. Do you know this, by the way? Hania, The Discounter, Tottenheiliger. Well, Dark, probably you know it. I don't know if you told these to me or not, because I didn't put source or anything. K-pop Demon Hunters, lyrics like K-pop attitude, but with specific references to brands. This was just some reflection that I had. K-pop Demon Hunters, lyrics like K-pop attitude, etc., but with specific references to brands. I had watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and I was like, something interesting about the songs from K-pop Demon Hunters, right, is that normal K-pop songs are like kind of normal hip-hop plus normal pop mixed in. So there are a ton of like references to like either making a lot of money or like specific references to brands, right? And I thought that something interesting about the movie K-pop Demon Hunters was that the songs don't have those kind of references like this, right? They are mostly like, yeah, they have a couple of songs that are like classic K-pop, yeah, I'm a boss bitch or whatever type vibe, but they never say curse words, so they are always like in that sense clean, and in that other sense they are like they have the attitude, but they don't have the brands, right? They don't name anything. They don't say Gucci, I have a Gucci Prada bag or whatever, right? They say things like fit check Napalm or Napalm fit check or something like that, right? So my outfit is fire, but they don't say any brand specifically. So I thought it's interesting, right? And I thought it was cool, right? Not necessarily, oh, I hate songs that name brands, right? In fact, I like the wordplay that people use when naming brands and so on. But I think one reason why it got so big, first of all, one is that it was clean, right? But the other one is that, I don't know, also K-pop in general got big, but this one specifically is because they had this kind of requirement from the beginning not to talk about these things, plus the movie, right? It was like put together in a way that I feel like that kind of vibe aided it helped the other thing. Because, for example, maybe normally if you are a normal K-pop group in reality, and you try to make a song without any specific references, maybe it ends up feeling a little bit too bland or feeling a little bit too generic, right? But in this context, because you have the movie with it, it kind of helps. Also, it makes sense because the universe itself like doesn't have specific brands. It doesn't make sense to put brands from the real world. So you have to think like a bit outside the box to be able to make clever songs, right? I don't know. I feel like that's an interesting thing. I don't think I heard of it. Of the discounter Tottenheinega or Dark, I guess, right? Then I have add ideas apps. Estructuras unidas Alonso. This one was an idea for an app that I had a while ago, which is like inspired on an artist that I had been listening to in that time. That I really liked his rhyming style. I liked the way he rapped, but it's like I couldn't put a finger on why. So I was like, I want to make an app that makes it visual, right? That colors the bars, for example, the lines, the rhyming scheme, and also not just the rhyme, but the phonetic scheme, the structures, as they are called in like freestyle rapping or whatever. And I wanted to put that to make an app where you put like the song and it does that instead of like me analyzing it, which would have been like much easier and much more accurate to what my taste, for example, or whatever. But I don't know. I wanted to make an app for it in order not to have to do it, and I never did. So yeah. But then the other app I wanted to make, I had this idea while going to Spain. 3D representation of flag paths over globe. It's basically you put a globe, you make a globe, because there are a lot of flight aware, for example, this flight radar or flight aware or whatever, they do show paths, but they don't show them on a globe in 3 dimensions. And I wanted to know specifically like the altitude at which, like where you are at which altitude visually, because like I don't give a fuck like if you tell me you're here at 1,000 feet or whatever. I don't know how much 1,000 feet is, right? So I want to know how close to taking off you are, like how steep the downward trajectory or like the takeoff trajectory is at which points, because I don't know. So I wanted to do that. Also in my specific flight, right? Not any flight, in my flight. So I wanted to know that. Then I put some possible enhancements or whatever. I have something that I know that is called The Idea of You. I think this is a TV show or something. The Idea of You 2024. Yeah, romance movie. Ooh. I don't know. This could be like a video or a stream idea, but I'm going to put it into video. And it's called What Kind of Community Do I Want to Build? And this one is kind of like the next abstraction over. I've made a lot of videos that are like, what is my dream house, or what is my dream whatever, my dream job, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things like that kind of, I think, end up being the question, what kind of community do I want to build in the backend? So, yeah, of the discounter. This one is another video that I think is an interesting idea. Cool hardware formats for people who love communicators, slide out keyboards, etc. I don't know how I would title this video or something, but I want to essentially say something like, whoa, we are living in an era where phones are actually like really cool. There are like many devices that are interesting. For example, I've been looking at like retro consoles, retro gaming consoles, and like retro emulation gaming consoles, and there is like a super big variety in hardware, in things like this, right? So you have phones that are cool, the trifold, the phone that folds in three, like this is a thing that exists. That's fucking insane. And also the Fold 7 is like mega thin, or like flip phones are like cool in general, right? Then there are like dual screen laptops now. There are now laptops with two screens, and you can fold the screen up, and they have like a little stand, and it's like, right? And they are getting lighter. So it's like we are living in an interesting hardware type vibe era, right? Like never the hardware has been like, I don't know, this quirky. I don't know. Because for example, it used to be that the next generation was like, whoa, this is like so many more pixels, but it's always been like the same form factor. And now it's like we're starting to see those things in like the desktop world as well. Well, the laptop world, you would say. E-ink as well. I haven't written e-ink here, but yeah, in the dual, for example, in this retro gaming world, there are like a couple of things that are insane. For example, well, this is essentially a Nintendo DS, but this thing is insane. It has like the form factor of a Nintendo DS or a 3DS or something, but it has like a Snapdragon Gen 3 chip. So it's like a powerful ARM architecture. It runs Android. It has two screens. It has like, it doesn't have cameras, right? That's the interesting thing. That's like the only hardware that they are missing. But it has like a factor of RAM, or like, I don't know, like 60 gigs of RAM. So like insane specifications if you were to travel 10 years back into the past and tell someone. If you tell 10-year, like 18-year-old me, yo, you're going to be able to have like a Nintendo DS that can run that can emulate PC games, GTA 5, it can emulate it. It's not even running on the hard on whatever, right? It's not running on ARM, but it can emulate it. So it's like insane. It has like obviously USB-C, like two USB-C ports, I think, and it can do like video out over USB-C, OTG. So it's like it's basically an Android device that is powerful, and it has two screens, and you can flip it. So it's like, that's crazy. Yeah, I definitely used the DS. That's God made in console. Have you seen the custom layer someone was doing? I've seen like some ESDE stuff. Yeah, ESDE front ends for like this device. Like I'm probably going to get this next month or something like this. It's super interesting. I saw a video of a laptop that didn't have two screens but was able to widen the screen to about double the size. I don't really know how that worked, but it also was not really interesting. I also saw that video. I thought it was interesting, but also I didn't know if it was like commercially available or not, because I think that one, I don't know, I'm not sure. It may be like it is from CES this year. Like that is one thing I know, but I don't know if they are going to like make it or not. Because for example, some other things that they have shown at CES, like the folding screen laptops and so on, those they are like releasing, which is pretty insane. And there is like one that is like, I don't know, not super thin, but it's like this thick. So it's like normal thickness for a laptop, normal weight, like 1.7 kilos or something, but it like folds out in two screens. And yeah, this console is basically insane. But there are like other crazy hardware things. Like for example, there is this Anbernic SP. Let's see. This one It's also like flip format, which is funny, right? I liked it. But this one, and this one is not that powerful. This one I think doesn't run on Android, but this one runs on like some kind of Linux system, and it also has like TV out. It has like HDMI out. You can like put it on the TV. It has Wi-Fi and it has Wi-Fi. I'm not sure if it has Wi-Fi, but it has Bluetooth, so you can like control it with Bluetooth. Also, for example, yes, this console, the Android thing, the Einthor has like also all of these things. Right? It has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth. So it's like the TV out thing makes sense because now you can control it with Bluetooth. You can put a mouse or a keyboard. You can use controllers on it. So it's like it makes sense, right? The software is really good on the bottom screen, right? So that was basically the idea for the video. And I guess the thing I'm waiting for is maybe to have a couple of these, right? To be able to show as props. I don't know. Maybe not really. Maybe I could just like make it. But yeah, it's kind of like, on the one hand, I do miss like this era where every phone had a slide out keyboard and things like this, right? But yeah. I have this another idea. This one is pretty short, I guess, but it was like thinking about abundance and scarcity, and in particular about the abundance of artificial pockets of scarcity, right? It's like interesting that one would think like utopia. It's like abundance for everyone, right? So it's like, what does abundance mean? Wow, you can have everything you want, right? If you want something, you can have it. Because there is so much of everything that if you want food, you want a car, you want a house, blah, blah, blah. It's like anything you want, you can have it. But it seems like the world doesn't actually work like this, and there will never, like, with abundance, there always comes like something else, right? So it's like, if there is abundance of food, which there is, right? It's like basically in the food realm, we've reached as humanity fucking abundance. There are like people developing, and like they are actually out, like these fucking chemicals or whatever that you take in order to make you thinner because of how many people are so fucking fat, right? It's like so many people are so fat that this is literally a great industry to have things to make you thinner. It's like in general, not everywhere, but like hunger is like mostly a problem of the past or whatever, right? It's like mostly a logistics thing these days. It's like there is enough food for like everyone to eat, essentially, for whatever. It's like the difficult part is like to get it over there and to like fucking make it so that you don't have to like fucking keep getting it over there over and over again because there are like wars or like a corrupt dictator or whatever, or like some shit like this. But essentially, like food is everywhere. But not everything is everywhere, right? Or like technology is cheap, but some other things are like getting super expensive, like housing or whatever. And then it's like whenever you make something abundant, always there is like someone trying to make that thing scarce. So, for example, if you make food, then there is going to be like someone that tries to make the rarer food, like food with fucking gold flakes on it. So it's like, this is like how the world works apparently, right? Everything gets like abundance leads to like abundance of artificial pockets of scarcity, right? It's like whenever there is abundance, there is someone who creates artificial scarcity in a way. So it's like, and it ends up being an abundance of artificial pockets of scarcity. And that was like the thing I was thinking about. It was just this thing, that there is like an abundance of artificial pockets of scarcity. And I thought this was an interesting concept, right? It's like, interesting, right? It's like, can you even get rid of scarcity? Not really, because abundance creates an abundance of artificial pockets of scarcity. So it's like scarcity. It's better to have artificial scarcity as to have like real scarcity. That is a thing, right? But if you can't get rid of scarcity and you have to like, you end up creating it. It's like if you get rid of it, you end up creating artificial. You create it. And I was thinking of it in the context of like digital media, right? If you end up with a technology that lets you share music to everyone, the business is in making the sharing of the music so difficult that you rely on paying Spotify for 10 euros a month or something, right? And then the people who create Spotify, who will like make deals with the brands or whatever, those are the ones who like make money, right? So it's like interesting, right? It's like same with AI, right? AI is doing the same thing in a way or whatever, probably, right? It's like they have everything, right? It's like, but they have to run a business model, so they have to make it so that the scarcity is artificial, right? So they have to charge you for whatever. And AI is different because they have to actually do inference or whatever, and it does cost money. I don't know, to me, things like, for example, Netflix or something like that, these things feel like, or Spotify, these things feel like temporary, right? They are like artificial pockets of scarcity. It's like Kindle, same with ebooks on Amazon. Artificial scarcity. It's like, fuck it. If you want to write a book, make it free. And if you want to be a writer, you have to invent something else, right? It's like the book can no longer, like, we have reached the limit. It's like you have to invent scarcity, but people have to invent like there has to be a distinction between the artificial pockets of scarcity, like how good they are, like how much they make the world progress or something, right? So far, I think the artificial pockets of scarcity that we have right now are not good. Like Netflix, it's done good things, right? Netflix is like actually an underrated company. It has like done insane things for like mass distribution of like video content online and like broadband or whatever. Like for that type of shit, like the engineering behind Netflix is actually really insane. And like people who work at Netflix are like mega smart. So in that sense, okay, maybe I can let it out. I can let them. Same with Amazon, I guess. Amazon has also like dope engineers and shit like this. But that's probably mostly because of AWS or something. I don't know. So I don't know. Kindle, for example, I'm not sure if I like the business model of Kindle, right? It's like, okay, figure something else out. Figure out something else. Book publishing, okay, sure. If you want to sell a physical book, that is actually a good reason for books to exist. The physical Kindle device, great. E-ink displays or whatever. Anyone else wants to publish something on the internet, those things have to be free. It's like, because essentially they are already free, right? Same with YouTube. Those things are mostly free, right? We have to get rid of both things, in my opinion. We have to get rid of like this crazy subsidizing in exchange for your data, and get rid of like this crazy SaaS model of charging you a subscription for everything. It's like both things we have to get rid of. So for example, if YouTube has to show you data or whatever, it's like, fuck it. We need something like, if YouTube is free, but they take your data for it, okay, that actually that I can let pass. So they serve you ads for it, and then they charge you a subscription if you don't want ads. That's fair, in my opinion. But Spotify, for example, I don't know. There are like some things that I don't feel like are great. I was thinking about how to make a joke about that, so I ended with Premium Air, but I think there is probably someone that is already trying to say Premium Air, probably. I mean, bottled air is probably expensive, right? Because the bottles and like the logistics of like putting air there and like making sure it's pure or whatever. I don't know, once you look into everything looks like justifiable in a sense, right? But I feel like if you put blinds on how the things actually work and think like philosophically, there are some things that are like, okay, we have gotten rid of like expensive books. Like expensive books shouldn't exist, right? Expensive knowledge or what? It's like same with patents or things like this, right? It's like expensive medicine is expensive because of how much it costs to develop, right? But once you can copy it, it's no longer expensive medicine, right? So it's like, I understand that there have to be things like this, but if you can scale something, you have to think of if something can be scaled like that. You can make a generic medicine, for example, because the medicine, the important thing is the medicine. Then it's like it should be able to be scaled or whatever, and the people who discovered it or whatever should get compensated by whoever. I don't know. I'm not sure of how it works, but I'm sure about like I'm thinking of the philosophy behind it, right? It's like a song. If you make a song and you put it out there, and you can make infinite digital copies of it for free, and if the song you made is digitally made, then it makes no sense to charge for it, right? Because infinite copies can be made for it for free. Like I understand the pricing logic or whatever, but it's like physically it doesn't make sense, right? It's if I can obtain a .mp3 file for free or for like marginally like infinitely low costs, then it doesn't make sense that any other different mp3 costs money to get, right? I have already gotten these mp3s for free. I know the limitation is not on the mp3 thing, on the distribution of the mp3, on how difficult it is to distribute. It's not that, right? If you charge 20 cents or whatever because it costs you 20 cents to keep the servers running, okay, that makes sense. But that's the point, right? That everything should be like super low. Same with a book, should be super low. It's like we should bring the things that can be super low to super low prices, and then figure something else out. For example, services or whatever, knowledge, things like this. Things like that, okay, I can be like, okay, sure, there is value here or over here. Like we have to switch the value to those places already. But then it's like the generic medicine, the MP3 files, the .epub books, the videos on YouTube. Those are already free, right? They have to figure out some kind of YouTube premium type shit for medicine and for every other field, right? For music. Actually, for music, I guess the problem with music and why so many people buy Spotify is because music is so fucking annoying to be interrupted by an ad, right? Oh, I noticed a video about how AI has helped me in 2025. How AI has helped me 2025. And it was like cooking recipes, some gym things, running things. So I would like put those things in. And then also like some reflection on like, okay, it has helped me do these things, but also by someone helping you do something, it also makes you not work as hard as you could that not work as hard as you could by doing it yourself, right? So in a way, is it fully good? We will never know, but I want to notice that, I want to explain that I do think the overall balance is positive. Right? For example, cooking. Maybe there is someone who doesn't cook because they don't like it. Sorry, not because they don't like it, but because they are too overwhelmed. And then they start cooking because of AI, right? So it's like in those cases, you couldn't say, "Whoa, AI is it's like burning your brain and it's making you not learn to cook." No, because the problem was that he was too overwhelmed to cook in the first place. Right? I'm not that extreme, but I'm kind of, I mean, more in the middle, right? So I don't exactly know. I was already interested in cooking. I already learned some things about cooking on YouTube, but the friction that AI has reduced, I feel like has been positive, right? Even though now I am kind of reliant and like I by default go to AI to like, for example, what can I have for dinner today? I have these ingredients, right? what goes well with what, instead of like me thinking, okay, what goes well with what? I ask instead. So I don't know, you could see trade-offs. I would say that for fitness, I would say the upside is much bigger than the downside, because if I'm by myself, I would be like too overwhelmed to like be on Reddit and like look up fitness Reddit, coach to 5K. Well, I actually did that, but when something goes wrong, then it's like a hiccup on the path, a hiccup on the trail or something that goes wrong can set you back so much. And like when momentum is so important, for example, for sports and for like training and such, momentum is very important. So in that sense, I get what you want to say, but you sound like one of those influencers that want drawings for free since it was not necessary to have drawings, or the same with cake. The cake? I don't get the cake. I mean, if you are hiring someone to do the drawing you want to do, right, then the service is clear and that service has a price. For example, that one is a valid price because you are making him make something that they don't want you to do. They don't want to do, or they, for the moment, that don't necessarily, like they weren't going to do if you don't pay them to do it. That is fair. Like I don't think drawing should draw what you want for free, right? I mean that if you upload a picture that is digital online, it should not cost money, right? I should be able to right-click the image, download JPEG, and download it. That is basically what I'm saying. Even the high quality, the great high quality version, right? It's like, well, if you want the high quality version to be online, then available online, then it should be for free. If you want others to see it, or whatever. Right? And anyone should be able to do with that file whatever they fucking want, essentially. I don't know how Creative Commons licenses work or whatever, but I'm sure there is like one license that allows anyone to use anything for whatever they want, without attribution even. I think I would make the attribution thing probably mandatory. I don't know, maybe not sure mandatory or whatever. I think I wouldn't make, like for example, if I want to make a meme with Walt Disney's face that is like, I don't know, posted online or whatever, or like with Mickey Mouse, I should be able to do it. Right? But if I want to make a Super Mario meme, I should be able to do it. Like it's like already possible to do it, and people already do, right? So it's like, but it's probably technically illegal to use Super Mario's copyright material infringement, right? So it's like in the same way, it should be, I should be able to use like whoever drawing from whoever the fuck draws on the internet for free, and make a meme out of it, and no one gives a fuck, right? Like that is my point, because it's already possible, right? It's like if it's physically possible to do something like this, like to download an image. I don't know. For example, if you want to generate like child porn or something with a kid's face with using AI, that should probably be illegal or something. But because the child porn is illegal, right? All other things that are not illegal because of law, like that, right? Because of bigger things, they should be able to like happen. Like you should not be able to do something like only be able to read an ebook in this specific platform. If you upload your ebook to Kindle, only Kindle people can like read it on the Kindle device. Like that thing is, for example, crazy. I'm not sure if it happens or if it doesn't happen, but yeah. For example, I do pay to some people on Patreon who draw, they don't draw, and I technically only pay for viewing the drawings. Yeah, to me, in general, like I know you weren't going to do it, and like in real life, people shouldn't do it, right? I pay for your Patreon or whatever, I'm not going to go to your Patreon, right-click, download all the images, and like then do a refund on my Visa card or whatever, and have the digital things, right? But the fact that that is technically possible demonstrates that if you put something on the internet, like a file on the internet, it's like it should be in the conscience of everyone that this is literally how the world works, right? It's like if I can put a JPEG, if I can put a JPEG on a website and then charge you to look at it, then I'm not doing something right with the JPEG. Like I'm not doing something right. Like my business logic, or like I don't know, it's like my business logic is like stuck in the past. It's like, why am I using business models from the past in the present? Because they work and people are uncreative or whatever, right? Or like people are willing to do this like sacrifice or whatever to support someone they want. But it's like if you want to support the guy who does that, you should like be able to just support it. It's like you shouldn't need like some breadcrumbs or whatever to have access to whatever. It's like it doesn't make any sense. I know in real life it is not like that, right? In real life it's like sure, right? In that sense, I don't think it should be free, since it was free, they probably wouldn't draw or upload the first release, since they wouldn't get money for it, and in turn couldn't invest as much time. I don't know. I think this is like back to artificial scarcity, right? To me, that is like premium air, right? It's literally air or something, but you just stick something artificial in front of it in order to make it premium, right? It's like, no, it's digital files. Digital files are just bits, right? Well, I don't know, it's not the same analogy, but to me, it's like if you want to sell something as unique, it has to be unique, right? If you want to sell something as not unique, then it's fine. If there is like some kind of value add or whatever, right? But if you simply want to distribute online things, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's my thing is like if you can pirate it, it's obviously technically possible. To this, like the distribution part is already solved. It's like we've solved how to turn this thing into something that can be distributed. It's like, so why the gatekeeping? It's like if you want these files to be seen online, to be uploaded online, to be shared to the world, and you then artificially want to restrict the world that sees those files, that is, to me, I don't know, to me that doesn't make sense. But the way the current world works, I mean, it's not maddening to me or whatever, right? I'm not insane, I'm not like pro doing what is obviously technically possible, right? If people in general don't want to pirate things, I'm like, okay, but people should be mindful that piracy exists and that it's possible and that it's in fact so fucking easy that it's kind of crazy how little it happens in comparison, right? For example, OnlyFans. If I I'm a girl who is about to show her tits online, immediately before anyone does anything or something, the first thing I would want that girl to know is, woman, realize one thing. Bits are bits and they are copyable super easy, super almost for free. The cost of someone copying bits is zero. It's like, don't do something you wouldn't do or based on the assumption that that is going to happen. Right? It's like, do not put your pussy online if you are not in agreement with your pussy being distributed for free for everyone, right? That is essentially the mindset I would put on someone. It's like, don't do it, because that is what is technically possible and what will happen, right? With 80% certainty. Maybe you are of the 20% of people whose pussy doesn't get distributed for the weirdos of the world for free, right? But you will have to be lucky. For the 80% of the other women, it happens like that, right? And it's like super easy to get like this picture. And same if you are a person who draws. If you are someone who draws, whatever, right? It's like if you draw furry porn or whatever, and you don't want your fucking furry tits drawing seen by everyone on the internet. It's like, then don't put it online, right? That is the point. Don't make a digital file of it and put it online. Because the thing about digital things is that they can be copied infinitely and distributed for essentially free. That is the point, right? You are not paying for the data of the art itself, but rather the time and the effort and the high. Yeah, I get that, right? Like, I'm not against eliminating drawers or whatever. I like drawings or whatever. But my point is regarding putting data online on the internet, right? It's like, if the knowledge of how to screw screws or whatever is for free everywhere or whatever, and you simply don't want to take the knowledge of how to screw a screw and use it to screw a screw, and you want to pay this other guy to do it, fine. If the knowledge of how to draw something is over there, and you just want that person to do it for you, then great, pay them. But if they want to, like, if they show the things they drawn or whatever, and they put a paywall on it, to me it's a business model. It's a business model that doesn't make sense, right? Essentially, what you are doing is another thing. If you, for example, that Patreon person you are paying to support, you are essentially doing charity. That's essentially how it works. It's like, I don't think you are paying that person to draw you the things that they draw you to do. It's like, it's a fake. Essentially, what they are doing is like a fake wrapping over the real thing, the real business that they are running. Right? It's like you are not paying money for like drawings. That is not the exchange being made, right? The exchange being made is different. It's like, same with OnlyFans. OnlyFans, the exchange being made in OnlyFans is actually not paying to view videos. OnlyFans, the way OnlyFans makes money is because they are paying for the relationship with the OnlyFans model. Right? That is the thing. That is why OnlyFans makes money. In my opinion, like how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think it's probably like when you are talking about art and artists, etc. Like, I think one thing you are paying for is like taste or something like this, right? It's like you are paying to see someone who has taste do something. It's like you are not necessarily that interested in like buying the picture. It's more the taste, right? Having access to their taste. I think that is what's actually going on. And I feel like there are better ways to do that do not require you lying I mean, it's a little white lie. It's like I don't think it's a big lie, right? And I don't think it's necessarily an intentional lie. I don't think people who are like, I'm going to put my drawings online for 10 euros for the people who want to support me. I don't think they are liars or whatever. Right? But I mean that it bothers me because it's like against the spirit of the internet, in my opinion, right? The spirit of the internet, in my opinion, is to have like everything shared. Like that is like adding, right? That is my point. Instead of like paywalling things, right? Instead of like instead of putting walls in everywhere, it's like tearing down walls and like sharing. That is the point, right? And it's like the point is, to me, is like the artificial wall. That is the thing that bothers me, right? Someone erecting an artificial wall on something. To me, the real walls, it's like, to me, what would be beautiful, right? What I feel, the way I feel things are beautiful is when real walls show up, right? When there are real problems, those are beautiful, right? So, for example, Netflix trying to put video to many places and having to create insane architecture or whatever, right? That is beautiful, but it's all obscured because the business model is like a different excuse, right? They are using a different excuse. Their excuse is like I don't know, it's convenient, blah, blah, right? It's like they are trying to use marketing to 10 minutes towards you, and you are trying to rationalize it in a different way, right? They use some marketing, you have to like think about the marketing that they do. So it's like the real thing never appears to be. It's like you never think, okay, the actual thing I'm paying for, the actual thing that is magical about this is having access to this, right? And like the infrastructure, blah, 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 right? It's like, it's never that. And for example, if the person who draws or whatever were to be like, okay, these are the facts, right? This is why you are actually subscribing to me. You are supporting me because you blah, 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 right? It's like if they laid out the actual reasons, it will be kind of cold or whatever, but it will be more beautiful in my opinion. Now that you mention it like this, what do you think would be a better solution? If they take only money from commission, not only will they get more expensive, but also it will take them longer. If they upload everything for free and hope for donations, they will be getting AMO. So what should they do in your mind? Yeah, I don't know. I think that this solution has appeared because the better solution isn't here yet. It's like people haven't figured out the solution, and the people who are figured out the fake solution are already like super smart or whatever, right? So it's like, I'm just laying it out there, right? I don't even know what the solution could be. But I feel like, for example, for the people who are like, I don't know, I will have to see, for example, all the examples I'm thinking of in Patreon, for example, are like these walled gardens of things that are like difficult to access or whatever. I don't know. I feel like something, for example, something where the reality of it becomes abundantly obvious, right? So, for example, selling, it's like only letting your X tier supporters, it's like making a stream. Streams, by definition, are like free, right? It's like, for me, a stream should be free. But the ability to connect with, like the ability to call someone on Skype, that should not be free, right? For everyone. Even though the technology is there or whatever, right? But it's like who you talk to, it's like you have to agree to that, right? So it's like, if I agree to put you on my Discord call of the stream, then those are like only certain tier, right? Something like that, right? It's like I commit to doing, like you support me to be able to have access to this stream in this way, right? The problem is that it does makes it like everything that is like real, YouTubers remember only streams. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I know that those are a thing. Right? I know they exist, that extremes aren't free for real. Right? And for example, Or it's the same with football, for example. I feel like football broadcasting, it's like once you create digital signal, it's like, to me, when something is pirated, that is a sign that something is going wrong here, right? If something is being pirated, like no one is pirating a YouTube video. You know what I mean? I mean, YouTube is also kind of trying to do it, to be honest. YouTube doesn't let you use ad blockers, and YouTube doesn't let you download videos for free, super easy. But it's like, I don't know, it's like downloading a video from YouTube using a YouTube downloader doesn't feel like piracy. You know what I mean? Maybe it counts as piracy, but it's so endemic to YouTube that using a YouTube download, even if YouTube doesn't have a button over there where that lets you download it, it's so easy that to me, it's almost like a given that when you make a YouTube video, it can be downloaded. But essentially, it's like there is no piracy of YouTube, right? Meanwhile, there is piracy, for example, a TV stream or for example, a boxing combat, pay-per-view boxing combats. I know that making people pay for streams is a thing, but I mean that technologically it's so easy to not do. It's like easier to make the stream for free than to make it paid, right? When something is easier to put available for free than to make it paid, then I'm like, making it paid is worse. So, for example, if uploading an image is easier to do for free than to do paid, you should figure something else out, right? I don't know. I guess artificial scarcity is a different topic. It's a difficult topic, right? For example, because if you want to make a Discord server and you want to make it private for only your friends, that is kind of artificial scarcity in a sense, right? It's like it'd be pretty annoying to not be able to make a server for only your friends. So in that sense, artificial scarcity makes sense in some contexts, right? Even if it's just like text. I don't know. I have to think about it. I feel like my strongest argument is when you use the extreme example, right, of a woman who is going to do porn, and you are like, girl, only do this if you think this is correct, right? If you think this, then do it. If you see the consequences of this and are like, okay, I understand, at least understand, right? Maybe I wouldn't like it, but I understand that this could happen. This makes sense, right? Due to the technology, how technology works, I understand. It's like operating from there feels like the thing that makes sense, right? So it's like, but to me, the rest of the argumentation comes downstream from there. If you tell the OnlyFans woman, okay, you have to think like this. In order, before you put something digital online, you have to think like this. Now, it's like you have to tell the same thing to the person who draws online. It's like if you do drawings online, you have to think like this, right? But I don't know. It's like, to me, this thing, like the artificial scarcity thing, is also like a moment in time thing, right? So, for example, if in this moment in time you can charge people money for your drawings and they are not going to pirate them because they like you, it's like that's actually a good, like that's a decent business model. But in my opinion, it should always be in the back of your mind that literally anyone can right click, download your images, post them somewhere for free, and they would be an asshole, but it's like technically possible and it's literally the easiest thing anyone could do, right? So it's like, have that in mind. The problem is that I don't know what the solution is, right? And I think that in reality, what you said of like, I don't know if they will barely get any. I feel like that is underestimated. I feel like people give more than what other people give them credit for, and maybe you don't even need to use some stupid excuse, right? Well, not a stupid excuse, but you don't need to use like some elaborate excuse. I feel like that is one side to the argument, and the other side is that you are definitely right on the if they take only money for commissions, not only will those get more expensive, but it will they take them longer. That is definitely true. Like if not just the commissions, I feel like the consequence of all of this is that everything gets super expensive, right? It's like if every artist in the world or whatever didn't do the Patreon thing and did the business models that are real, right? For example, access to time, then because of the nature of scale, it's like the only people who would be on the call would be rich people, right? Because those are these are the people who can, by virtue of like in real terms, like it's like in human handleable terms, can help out someone, right? It's like if you have enough demand to fill a stream like this, for example, right? It's like you would keep raising your prices, keep raising your prices, keep raising your prices until you hit the like either you don't need more money or like you don't want to charge more money for whatever or blah blah, blah, right? Like it's like you would hit like a psychological limit of the amount of money you charge to the people who are there, right? But yeah, it would get more expensive, like super expensive. I don't think people are so generous. I think they are generous and they feel good to be in this exclusive cool club where they do get content others don't. Yeah, I definitely think that is a thing that happens. Right? That is a real thing. I guess I'm not super against something like that, but it has to be sold like this, right? You have to sell it like this. You have to sell it like by virtue of paying into this, you are part of an exclusive thing, an exclusive club. People you don't who don't pay aren't, right? It's like the payment is membership to a club. It's like part of the community, right? Become part of the community, and you pay, and you literally the only thing that happens is becoming a part of the community. And some of the artificial scarcity that I will allow, for example, a Discord group or something like this, is created with a private channel that only the people who pay can access, right? Something like that is like, I don't know. I think it's an interesting question, right? Because all the arguments I've said about the digital image applies literally to text as well, right? So, for example, if you are in a Discord channel that you have to pay to get into, I guess my point is like, who would want the information in the chat for free, right? I think in the real world that's what happens, right? It's like, who would want the digital image? Like, for example, in the case of porn, for some reason it's like everyone wants it, right? So the woman has to be careful. If you're a person who draws online, it's like, who would want your drawings, your exclusive drawings, besides the people who are going to pay you to see them, right? It's like maybe a couple of people would see like, okay, yeah, sure. Oh, I like this artist. I would like to see the drawings, but it's like, who's going to go through the effort of like doing that? I don't know. It's like, I don't necessarily think every chat that gets published online should be published everywhere, but I do think, right, in my mind, well, not, I'm going to be real, like, not 100% of the time my brain is working like this, right? But there is a certain sense that when I type something, blah, 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 and this thing is uploaded to something that is, I guess, not encrypted. For example, if I upload something to my Google Drive, that I do expect that it remains private, right? But if I upload something to Discord, for example, if I'm talking to someone on Discord, if I'm talking to blah, 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 right? Or if I'm writing something in a Discord channel, right? Whether it's public or not. Or if I'm tweeting something, well, tweeting is obvious because it's private, but also if I'm uploading a YouTube video and it's like marked in private, even though private, uploading a video in private is also like artificial scarcity. If I'm uploading a video on YouTube and it's in private, right? Even those things, I'm like, okay, still someone could be seeing this, right? It's like, you also never know. For example, if I'm writing to a friend on Discord or whatever, and their mom is behind on the key, right? It's like, these kinds of things could happen, right? So it's like, in the back of my mind, there is always a certain sense like this, right? Or like when you see on Tinder, for example, people sharing screenshots of texts and getting like millions of views, right? I feel like that is obviously an asshole move, but also you kind of shouldn't be texting people screenshotable things, right? It's like, it's not that it's your fault, but also it's something you should have in mind, right? And I've sinned, right? But before I did these things, right, before I've done stuff where screenshotting it could look bad, I've actually acknowledged that, right? I've told someone, okay, this is actually something that I wouldn't really not want to be screenshotted. Like, I've literally said these things, right? I know this would look bad as hell if I screenshotted it. I've said these things, right? Because I knew these things, like I know that it's text online, right? It can be screenshotted. And I know what looks bad and doesn't look bad, right? And I've sent videos on private for only one person to see, right? But still, it's like, I don't know. I do have a Japanese artist I'd love to get that from, but they only upload on a site where you basically pay with it, and I don't have a credit card or a way to pay on the site. So I'd love to get that art for free. Lol. I mean, see, to me that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you upload your? It's like, who the fuck is buying this art? I mean, you say you would buy it if you had a credit card that had the end, right? But it's like, if I'm an artist and I have to eat, okay, I get it, right? But are you sure that the way to eat is to charge 500 yen for a JPEG file? I don't know. It's like, is that truly the best way there is in 2026 to make money? It's like, it can be, right? I'm not smart enough to figure it out. And I'm even less smart to tell a Japanese person to convince them to do it, right? But I know there has to be something, right? There has to, like, it cannot be giving them that much money. And if it is, the access to the JPEGs, I don't know. It's like, to me, maybe it makes sense in the sense that, for example, for this particular, for a Japanese artist or whatever who doesn't like talking to people or whatever, like, who can't have this process like super streamlined on the computer, and they don't have to do anything. They don't have to talk to anyone or whatever. They can just draw, upload to someone, and they get money, right? And they don't have to talk to anyone. Then it makes sense, right? Because why would that person want to make a live stream every month, right? It's like maybe they just want to upload the thing to the bucket. The bucket does the charging, and they get the money, and they can like go eat 7-Eleven, Famichiki or whatever, right? It's like psychologically, I get why someone would do it, but in my mind, I'm like, there has to like it's not only that there has to be a way, it's that the other way is actually better for everyone, for them, because they could make more money, for the people watching, because people like you who right now cannot see the drawings, they could see them, and so many other more people who want to see the drawings could see them, and so many more people who can't see the drawings now could share them, because if they are good enough, like if your drawings are good enough that people want to pay for them, it's like, why wouldn't they share them to other people, and that will make you money in some other way? It's like, it's not that I know the correct solution, right? It's that I know that if the love for people is like the love from people to your shit is there has to be a way for you to make more money from amplifying the love, right? It's like, it's not even like, it's kind of numerical in some abstract way, right? But it's just, why are you capping? It's like, this is like putting walls. It's like, why are you putting walls? To me, putting walls makes sense when it's not about love, right? When it's about hate. If you want to cap hate, that makes sense. For example, if you are a YouTuber or something, and you are a public person, etc., and you want to have a channel that is like hate, and you want to cap that artificially, that makes sense, right? Because hate spreads so fucking fast that you actually need to cap hate. If you want to make a shit talking channel and you sometimes throw shit about other YouTubers or whatever, it's like, you have to cap that shit, right? You have to put brakes. But if you are bringing in love, capping it, it's like, it's intuitive. It's some intuitive thing. I'm not sure if I can explain it correctly, and I don't know the exact mechanisms, but I know they exist, right? They have to exist. Is it the best way to make money? Probably not, but it's what they want to do, right? So if they do the best, they can make a career out of it. Yeah. It's like, I'm not against the people who do it. I'm just like, if you are at that point where doing that makes sense for you, there has to, it's like, I'm not there, right? I'm not there. I don't know the options, and I'm sure they don't know the options either, right? But I know there has to be a better way, right? It's like, how can looking a JPEG for like, how much, what's the artist? Can you put the name or whatever? I want to know how much they are charging for an image. I just want to know that. Or if you don't want that, if you don't want, because your artist maybe is like making super specific pornography or whatever, do like search up some other artist on that same website that charges a similar price, right? And just tell me the website. I just want to know that, right? It's like, how much money can someone charge for a JPEG? I don't know. I feel, to be honest, also doing that maybe has helped, because maybe it's like more difficult for AI to generate images in the style of whoever, right? Because there are less images in the AI's training set as someone who did it for free, right? Or who like put everything on the catalog for free or whatever. Maybe that is true, but I don't know. I'm going to get water, by the way. Wait, are you a mod and not a mod? What the fuck? Did I remove you or what? I was like, the fuck? Okay, I'm going to get water now. No, I use you. No, I was wondering my name is Grey. Was Grey. I realized when I was like, okay, I've asked Hania to link this website or whatever, and he didn't send the link. I was like, maybe he can't send links. I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh, he's great. Like, because the other day I remembered I removed you from moderator in like without wanting it, but then I put you again as moderator, so I don't know what the fuck. It didn't register the change or whatever. I don't know. It's like when I click on someone, on your name, the first thing that I can, that like the thing closest to the place I just clicked is remove you as moderator, and then it doesn't even ask you, do you want? Are you sure? It does. It just does it. So I don't. Okay, I'm going to continue. Meanwhile, next idea, social stuff. I think this is a continuation on my all of my problems are social video. I think maybe the what kind of community do I want to build is also all of my problems are social. Like I could link to that. And yeah, the social stuff here is like social stuff is important. I feel like I'm missing some of that. When I'm here in Spain, it's like everything's fine and like it used to be, but sometimes I have this feeling of like something's missing. I miss silence in myself. I can't express certain things, which is the thing that made me lead. And then in Germany, it's weird. In Germany, it's weird. I feel like I don't really have a circle. It doesn't feel true. I have like some, like I have friends. I would call them friends, right, from class, etc. But it doesn't feel like a true circle. Right? It doesn't feel like true. I don't really feel part of it. That's what I have written here. Oh lol, the messages didn't go through. I was wondering why there was no direction. The other was, I think the first one didn't show up. I just see this. Let me see. Can you send the links again if you put a link before? This is what I see. This is what I see. So for example, oh lol, the messages didn't go through. I was wondering why. And then he says, and the other was, I think before this, there was something, but I don't see it. Now I've turned on moderation thing, so I think now if it deletes a message, it won't be like, not, it's not there. It will be like, I've deleted, the message is deleted, right? Sometimes it used to do that if you have it put it. So if now you paste a link, it should go through. Ah, the link was there. It's the Fanbox TC thing. Yeah, I mean, before this, so before this, you didn't sense anything, right? People from class, I usually call colleague. Yeah, I would call them colleague. I, I mean, they are colleague, but I would call them more than colleague because, for example, to me now, I would call someone colleague if they are like from work only, right? So, for example, if they are from, well, I guess also, for example, four new people came this year that were only like in the other class, right? Those, I guess, are more colleague, right? Because I know them from less. But these ones from my class, I wouldn't, maybe not everyone I would call friend, but I've gone on like trips, I've done things outside of the school, blah blah blah. Right? So it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's more of a friendship, right? I send a screenshot in Discord, it just deletes the message apart. Yeah, now it's not even showing me. So for one I wrote, the best way to make money, just sell your organs and fucking die. Number B. I don't even know if I can read it. I guess if they are censoring you, are they going to censor me? Just sell your organs, number B, so you get money. Crazy that not even a mod can say that. I mean, I feel like they should be better things. fucking. Maybe it's the die, right? If you tell someone to die, it's probably like AI based, right? So if you tell people to K, the K, the letter before Z, S, abbreviation, 3-letter abbreviation that incites other people to remove themselves from the. Also, this is essentially like Patreon, right? It's basically Patreon. It's like 300 per yen per month to support, 1000 yen per month, 300 yen per month. I mean, with the prices of the yen, it's basically free, right? 1,000 yen, how much is it these days? Is it like 5 euros? Not that crazy. 7 euros. It has to be good. 5 euros. That's it. That's crazy. 1,000 yen is literally 550 euros, dude. So 300 yen is like literally an euro or something. Right? It's insane. Like less than 2 euros. 164. That's great. Bro, it's like son las pesetas literalmente. It's like before in Spain there used to be this currency called like the Deutsche Mark. In Spain, the peseta before the euro, right? It's like one peseta. Well, 166 pesetas is 1 euro. €166 is less than 1 euro. That's insane. It's like less than a peseta. That's crazy. Because in Spain, like people of a certain age, if you tell them, yeah, this thing was a million, like a million pesetas, it's like people can do the conversion super quickly, right? A million pesetas is like 6,000 euros. It's like this house was 10 million, 60,000. Things like this, right? So it's like a conversion that's like really clean. And I think when I went to Japan, 2013, the yen was like, no, 2013, when I went in 2008, it was like almost on par with the peseta, like this, right? Which was already something like, whoa, it's kind of really good for us, right? Because we're getting a lot for our money, right? And then the next time it wasn't that great, or vice versa. I don't know. I feel no. One time it was like 130, and the other time was like 160 or something like this. But it was it was like below or something. It wasn't that crazy. Now it's like insane. Did any of those two come through? Bro, but it's legit the in German. I always calc 101 euro, but apparently that is way off at this point. Exactly, yeah. I do the same thing. I do the same thing and then a bit less, right? So for example, if something is 740, I know it's less than 7. I know it's 7 euros, right? I'm not like 7 euros 40. I'm like 7 euros, right? I used to do that in my head, right? But now it's like 740 is almost like half. Right? It's like 4. 370, 380. That's crazy. 740 is literally 4,03. Yeah, exactly. In 2008, when I went, which was we actually fell down a lot, 120. But it's like right before I went, so like September 2008 was like 167. 2013 July was on 130, and now it's like 183. That's insane. No, I think I went in New Year 2008. Let's see. I can look it up. Let's see. No, this is 2013. Yeah, this is Japan. December 2007. Ah, yeah. I was in New Year's 2008. That is a period where it was like super high. Yeah. It wasn't the highest, but yeah, it was really high. $165, almost there. This was, it's literally pesetas. It's like this Spanish currency, previous Spanish currency. It's like the conversion 166. What it's like, it was hovering over there. So I remember the conversion being like super kind of easy for us. That was then, and then in 2013, July 2013. It had risen a little bit, but it was like no way, no longer as close as it was before that. Right? It was like 130. 130 is this thing where you can do like, yeah, basically that kind of running down, right? Oh yeah, 130 is more or less 10 euros, 1,000 yen. Actually, 9 euros, 1,000 yen, something like that, right? It's like not insane. So I bought some kind of radio controlled car for like around 1,000 yen or whatever, no, like 10,000, right? And then it was like 90 euros or something, maybe something like this, right? I guess it's a 70, right? It was 113.41 euro when I checked, so I just go with the 100 for one. When did you check? We can check when you checked. Maybe in COVID. COVID was 26, 125. Maybe you checked, if you checked USD, for example, $1 versus yen, if you check dollar yen, maybe it was like here, 2022 also. I feel like this point or this point could be in dollars. Oh wait, no, because the dollar did some crazy. The dollar didn't go as the euro did, like a pretty big bump. I think this was insane. 100 yens, $100. Sorry, 100 yens, $1. And now it's like 160. June 2024 was even insaner. That's great. This was the website I saw, but not sure who no sé qué Choco is. Who did Choco? But it was ages ago. I don't really know. Never double checked later. Sorry. I was always like, what the fuck? When characters in anime buy a drink from a vending machine for 500 yen. That's crazy. Well, I actually remember back, it's like the crazy thing is that back then, there were also like the 500 yen coin. There were also like machines for that. It's like the mega chip thing isn't like that, but I don't know. I don't remember. I also don't watch a lot of anime, so maybe it is true that inflation has shown, like has appeared in anime. This is an idea that I've had called Get Over the Dork Bump, which is like a concept that I made myself. I thought about it. So I was like, I find this funny. It's kind of crazy. You can just try hard your way into being culturally relevant. Now, there's like 6 to 12 months of everyone thinking you're an annoying dork as you do this, but after you're well known, everyone kind of forgets why. So it was like, these are two examples, right? Addison Rae and Tate McRae, that are kind of like famous for TikTok, right? And then they got huge musical career. Right? So I'm not saying, what I wanted to say here is not, I'm not saying that if you do this, you will get that. But I am saying that many of the people who are on top right now were people who did that, right? It's like Addison Rae, like the new generation of pop stars who are big have done this, right? It's like that is the way you get there now, even though it doesn't guarantee anything, right? It's like you can be a dork online and still be a loser, like me, for example. But the way people have done it is that. That is my, like, that is kind of my thesis, right? It's not actually like this, that it's not this crazy, because like they were TikTokers, but they were like from the TikTokers, people who did actually know how to dance, right? For example, like Charlie D'Amelio, the biggest TikToker ever, is also like someone who knew how to dance. So it's like, it's not just being a dork. To be honest, they were like good dancers and such. So it's not just that. But dancing on TikTok is certainly like way dorkier than you could say, like way literally anything else, right? So and yeah, the first thing was like the cross domain part, right? It's like if you get with the first dork bump, okay, doing random shit on TikTok, and then you change to music, sure, people are going to criticize you or whatever, because and like they did criticize their music careers at the beginning, right? They're like, what the fuck is a TikToker making music, right? It's like Addison Rae was actually pretty crazy because it was like, why the fuck is this TikToker making music? Ha ha ha! So funny, right? When the first songs came out, and now it's like she's actually like a famous pop star, right? Like now, if you ask people who is Addison Rae, people sure probably know her from TikTok because people like music people are on TikTok or whatever. But I'm sure there is like a lot of people who like just have it on the radio or like who just have her on playlists on Spotify or whatever, and like don't really know that she actually like was on TikTok. that's how she's famous, which is kind of crazy, right? It's like doing like this kind of domain crossing that was kind of typical move for Disney Channel people or whatever, right? But I never heard of half of the names you mentioned, and maybe heard, but no idea who it is with the rest. They are two, just Addison Rae and Tecma Rae. They are just two people who make songs. Let's check rankings actually. Had you heard of Taylor Swift before me, for example? Heard of, by the way, not necessarily listened to. Have I heard of who? Miss Taylor Swift. For example, Taylor Swift is like number 5 of the world, right? Like number 5 with most like monthly listeners or whatever in the world. So if you haven't heard of her, it's like weird. Who is the top? I want to know like the rankings. Spotify most listened. Tolerated. Tolerated. You have heard of Tolerated? That's crazy. It's a good song. On the radio. Is that a single? I don't really know like which ones are singles or not. Have you heard of The Weeknd, for example? The fuck? What the fuck have I clicked? I heard of all top 10 artists that were there. Of these, I've heard of every one of them. Here, Arijit Singh is the first one that I don't know. Many of them I only know maybe one song. Or maybe I can't name titles of songs, but I know of them. Never heard of Bad Bunny. Really? I guess in Germany maybe he's not that big. He's really big in like Spanish-speaking countries. He's kind of big in the USA now, which kind of expands. But yeah. I guess if you haven't heard of Bad Bunny, you definitely haven't heard of J Balvin, I think. Shakira, maybe you have. Crazy that the two biggest Spanish artists, well, Spanish-speaking artists, are Bad Bunny and J Balvin. I guess I could have guessed that, but I didn't know. They were, I guess, I did know Bad Bunny was that big, but I didn't know J Balvin was that big. I didn't know SZA was so high. That's crazy. And I didn't know Shakira was that high either. 14, 15, 21, 22, 34, 15. Sabrina Carpenter, you don't know. If you don't know Sabrina Carpenter and she's 15, I guess I know why you don't know Addison Rae and Tate McRae. Both of those are like less big than Sabrina Carpenter. But they are like more or less the same generation. For example, Mariah Carey is way older. Billie Eilish is kind of a little bit young, not sure if younger, but a little. She's been in music professional or whatever, a little bit longer than Sabrina, for example. Dua Lipa has been for a while here. $32. Okay, season. The Balvin. 32. Daddy Yankee, also Spanish. 34. One. This is. I only know this one song. I know the Last Christmas I gave it away, and the very next day. I know only this song, but this is their song. Like that's the most famous song, and that's probably why they are here right now. That's like with 60 million listeners. And why they lost minus 1 million, they lost 1 million in this month because of that, probably. $37, $35. Chris Brown. Okay, this is a. I don't know many songs. Like I couldn't name a song, but if you play me a song and tell me it's from Chris Brown, I would be like, oh yeah, he was like this guy who made a couple of songs with Rihanna, who dated Rihanna, who beat her up, like he violent, like he abused her physically, like with he punched her in the face and such. Insane shit, to be honest. And he's still top 35 in the world monthly listeners. But yeah, R&B. It's not hip hop. It's more R&B, I think. $43, $44, $43. I don't know either. Somber is this guy. I know one song. He's a guy from TikTok, I think, who has like one hit song called "Back to Friends" or something like this. I said TikTok. I'm not sure if it's TikTok, by the way. K-pop Demon Contest card. Shreya Ghoshal, another one I don't know. Tate McRae is here now. She's top 58 music listeners. I hate Bad Guy. It was so hype and everyone loved it, so my expectations were high and I just couldn't reach it far. That's why I don't decide for myself. That's why I decide for myself what I like and what I don't. I don't like people coming to me saying, "Listen to this. It's so good for you." I'll definitely love it. From these ones, which ones do you know? Here, there are a lot of that I start not knowing. Oops. I do know Joe. I know a couple of songs. Good. This is the guy from Stranger Things. Do you know the guy from Stranger Things? Have you watched it? I haven't watched it whole, but I've watched this guy. This guy actually has music, and it's actually like pretty good. It's kind of insane that he's 33 years old and he's still playing like a teenager or something. Well, it ended already, but I don't know who Shreya Ghoshal is. Keine Ahnung. Gar keine Ahnung. Brenda Lee. Keine Ahnung. And I'm not sure if you tell me these are her songs, if I know them. I do know Fleetwood Mac. Pritam. Keine Ahnung. Alex Warren also. Keine Ahnung. A.R. Rahman. Keine Ahnung. Dean Martin. Keine Ahnung. I have not watched Stranger Things. Then I'm rocking around the Christmas tree. Okay, I guess I do know this song. Alex Warren is the ordinary guy. Okay, I did know this song. The ordinary. So I know. 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 from 30. It was better to ask who you do know, I think. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, makes sense. Credit correction makes sense. You don't know K-pop, you don't know that. You don't know Sean Paul. Ray, you don't know Ray. You don't know Brenda. You don't know Future. You don't know Tate McRae. Linkin Park. You don't know Frank Sinatra. You don't know Fleetwood Mac. 6, The Police, and 67. Well, Tate McRae is someone who is more famous than Harry Styles right now, who has more listeners than Harry Styles. That's the point I wanted to make. Have you heard of Harry Styles? Well, Tate McRae has more listeners than him. That's how famous she is, I guess. Right? I mean, obviously, false analogy, because if you say, like, how much money has Harry Styles made in touring solo, he probably still beats Tate McRae, I would guess, right? I don't know, but I would guess. Teddy Swims. The Let It Snow guy is Dean Martin. Okay. The Ronettes. A lot of Christmas music being played in December. Lao Fei. I guess her most played recents were like. Oh, okay, I guess. as feature. Chainsmokers I also know, like the Republic. Ah, the Chainsmokers. One Republic. From One Republic, I know, apologize, but I don't know who is One Republic. I guess it's the people singing the part that is not the rap, right? It's too late to apologize. I guess this is the single version. Sorry, the single, the solo version. I know the Timbaland one. You don't have Timbaland? Anyways, I've derailed myself. That's who Tate McRae is. Okay, let's check where Addison is. No. $50 million monthly listeners, maybe not that much, I guess. I thought she was more famous. I guess these are streams. Is he top 250? Addison, right, 653. So she's as famous, she's as listened to as Lisa, K-pop Lisa, okay. And Jungkook separated as Miss Lauryn Hill, Grupo Maraja Registrada, as Tini. Okay, interesting. Mon Laferte, League of Legends as a game, Pop Smoke, Stromae, Deftones, Skepta, Boogie with a Hoodie, Pnau, Carlos Vives, Lucas Graham. I'm surprised at how many people I know. What I don't know. Bon Iver. Whoa, that's crazy. She has more or less the same amount of monthly listeners as Bon Iver. That's crazy. As Nile Rodgers, Black Sabbath, The Fray, Noah Cyrus, Nicki Nicole, John Mayer, Ice Spice. Huh, I guess they're parallel. Darell, Alesso, Sting, Blondie, Girl in Red, Mike Posner. The following list contains the most streamed artists on the audio streaming platform Spotify. As of December 2025, American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift is the most streamed artist. Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny is the most streamed male artist. Image. American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift is the most streamed artist in Spotify's history. Image. Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny is the most streamed artist in Spotify's history. Image. South Korean boy band BTS is the most streamed group in Spotify's history. I guess here there is a male missing or something. "2020 Bad Bunny, 2021 Bad Bunny, 2022 The Bad Bunny, 2023 Taylor, 2024 Taylor, 2025 Bad Bunny." Kind of crazy how big Taylor Swift has gotten. Here, Taylor Swift wasn't in Spotify in 2015. She released album in 2014, 2015. She did like an album era, but it was like not digital only. Sorry, it was like buying only. It was not on streaming. Then I think she did Apple Music something. Then she put it on Spotify, if I remember correctly. Then she put her whole shit on Spotify. Then she had the masters thing. Thanks for nothing, Wikipedia. Literally. I'm using Grokipedia now. Open loops. This is a video I wanted to make, or maybe it could be a stream topic also. I think I'm going to put it on stream topic, open loops, because maybe I don't want to upload a video that is called like things I didn't do this time in Germany. I think it's more of an open, and I don't think I need to write this. Progress will be fractal. Bro, I forgot. I listed some videos. Yes, I think I know. Progress will be fractal. And it's like list of channels that are niched down. Like progress doesn't look like first we go to the oceans, then to the moon, then to Mars. In the meanwhile, it's like YouTubers that can make money making videos about the Game Boy Advance games. Game Boy Advance games, or retro consoles, or about old phones. Right? This is like my thing, right? The idea behind this video was like progress will be fractal. Why fractal? Because progress isn't like linear or something, right? It's like 2026 isn't like, whoa, we are so much closer to getting to Mars than before. No, 2026 is more like a YouTuber. There are like YouTubers making videos about how to run Doom on a device from 2011. But the video is like really good, right? It's like that is what the future is like right now, right? The future is like someone making a video about running Doom or like putting Balatro, like the game Balatro, on a Game Boy Advance cartridge. I watched that video the other day, right? Like that is the future. Like that is pure future. Future is like fractal, right? Future is like getting niched down on like shit that doesn't make any sense, right? That is the future. The future is like a guy who reviews iPods having a second channel where he reviews cars, and the cars are like pieces of shit from 20 years ago, right? That is the future, actually. The future are the video. The video is the future. But the thing about the video is that the video itself is about something that is 20 years old, right? But the video is being made now. It's like now, the videos that are popular are like a YouTuber that was famous 10 years ago talking about how he was famous the 10 years ago, right? And the first time he met up these kind of famous people. That is like the videos that are making YouTubers nowadays in Spain. For example, there's this big YouTuber called Willy Rex in Spain that his videos right now that are actually really good, right? Because everyone is nostalgic for that era. But the videos that are being made now are like this guy talking about his life 10 years ago, back when those famous things like back when everything was beginning, right? Well, when everything was beginning to boom, you could say. It's like back then, this, and he tells the story from now and takes a couple of details, and the video has 1 million views, right? That is kind of like what the future is. I mean, I think in videos because my brain is just, it thinks in videos, right? So to me, everything is videos. But like all the examples I could give are videos. But I think those are the things that are happening, right? The future isn't flying cars. It's having a big phone inside of your car, and the car, and like everything has screens, right? That is the future, apparently. It's like the future isn't like having a car that actually flies, or like something that physically can do more things. No, it's like putting more things inside of something that is already there, right? It's like the car, as you know it, normal, but it now has screens in it. That is like the car from the future, a car with screens inside. But the car itself is kind of the same, right? It basically eats up the same amount of fuel. Well, maybe electrics. Like electric cars could be said to be like an advanced or whatever. And they are changing things, you could say, but still. "2026 is closer to 2050 than 2000. Also, it's the year the Wii is closer to 20 years old. The Wii. That's insane. Maybe I buy a Wii and I use it here. I don't think I'll stream myself playing the Wii, but it could be fun to play the Wii here. Like I could move this a little bit and I have the TV, or like I could spin the TV a little bit and play over there, like that. Or maybe I just don't buy any more shit and just keep the shit that I have and just use that. But yeah, basically this was like the thing, right? And now it's like, so what will be progress, right? So what will progress be like? And then do some predictions. I don't know. Right now I can't think of anything. But my guess is that it's going to be like more niche down, right? So it's like if right now the person who has, it's like also right. I wouldn't say something like, I don't know. It's like you can't do the straight line forever, right? It's like no, the person who is making the videos about that is not going to be like 10 million subscribers, right? It's like not really. it's probably going to be Fractal again, right? It's like the next person who gets like, I don't know, the next category of people who will be able to be making money from whatever, right? And it's hard to make predictions. Then I'm going to make another category that is called another channel, other channels. I wanted to make one channel with my brother, right? My brother. Because I've been watching a lot of Vlog Brothers. And in Vlog Brothers, they do something like they created a joint channel and they talk to each other on videos once a week. And I thought that was an interesting concept. That was a stage of the channel called Brotherhood 2.0, apparently. But before that, they would make a video for each other like every week. And I would like to start that with my brother. Because right now it kind of makes sense, right? I'm living outside, I don't see him a lot. Sometimes I send him stuff on WhatsApp or whatever, but this is something else. A video responding to Ben Felix's question. Ben Felix is like a finance YouTuber and he does like retirement planning for like people with money. But he has like a paper with questions and the questions he asks to his clients. So I would like to respond to those questions. And it was like the questions he read out on a podcast that I watched were interesting. So I have another video called Why I Like Alex Hormozi, and it's basically coherence, right? It's like I don't like him a lot because I don't necessarily like everything that's coherent. My friends always say something like the coherence of the assassin or something like that, or the coherence of the killers. And I feel like he's a little bit like this, right? But I at least respect that he's like coherent, and I also don't think he's a killer, right? He's kind of ruthless, I would say, but I would say that the thing is that his frameworks make sense, and that he's coherent with his frameworks, and he tries to integrate inside, like he tries to make sense of his life and his position, etc., in his framework. I would like to see it expanded, like to see it expanded to the uncomfortable stuff. But it seems like he acts in accordance to his worldview. And it also seems like it has worked in making him rich. So that's also interesting. Right? Then the video for another channel is like a finance channel in Spanish. I want to make not a finance or like personal finance, I don't know. Not really like super crazy, but I would like to make like some investigation, right? Like a channel where I learn and I share what I learned, because I feel like people don't really know a lot. And also like there is a lot of people, I mean, me adding to it will be stupid, but if it works, right? If it were to work, it would be interesting because there's a lot of people who are like saying a lot of bullshit, right? And what's one more bullshitter, right? At least I'm saying my bullshit. So I don't have anything to gain for the moment or whatever. And even in the future, I would like to, I don't know, if it makes sense, I would like to, I would think about it. But yeah, I would think about the core of the thing and like what I'm trying to accomplish, etc. But one video I would like to make is called ¿Por qué el ladrillo es rey? ¿Por qué el ladrillo es rey en España? Which means why is brick in Spain? Brick is how we call in Spain real estate. In Spain, real estate is like very much in everyone's heads all the time because of the 2008 crisis, because of how much money it made some people in the 2008 crisis, because of how much of the economy like revolves around the real estate, because of how many big companies here in Spain are like actually developers, right? Or adjacent companies, right? Promoters, developers, this kind of thing. I don't know the wording exactly, but people also are very big into home ownership. Here in Germany, for example, people owning homes is like a little bit less common, I think. In Spain, it's like people really think about owning the homes, right? They don't like renting at all, right? It's like rent is seen as like a waste of time very much, right? Waste of money. Then I have another, which is how transport changed housing prices, which feels like it's also more related to this other thing, to the other channel, so maybe I could put it there. Then the last video idea that I have. Oh wait, I also have this one. Cristina Mendez, Every Me Look. This is a girl who is really popular on TikTok right now and on YouTube, etc., on YouTube Shorts and these short-term platforms. And she has like these kind of almost hypnotic videos. Mm. And yeah, basically, I would like to make like a compilation of a phrase that she says to see how it evolves. Okay. Not good idea. You kind of lost me at some point. I just noticed I have no idea what you are talking about at the moment. My ADHD brain went to playing with two balls I got for Christmas. I got a 12-sided Rubik's Cube, and I can solve, but it feels nice to turn on stuff. My sis always gets me stuff to fidget around since she knows me lol. The other guy who was on stream, El Cubero Elegante, he's like a Vega Pro Rubik's Cube guy. He like knows a lot and he's like fast and has done competitions or whatever. And like his girlfriend, well, his fiance actually, is also like good with that. I think they know each other, like they both belong to like one of these associations. Like he actually founded the association of that from my not sure if university, I think university actually, from my university, and definitely from my like faculty or whatever. I don't know, from my school. I don't know if he's like into mega, like into these huge cubes because they're also like expensive, right? A 12-sided. I think you said 12-sided, but it's not 12-sided, right? It's like 12. No, it has to be 12-sided, right? 12-sided. So it's not a Rubik's cube, right? It's a Rubik. Icosahedron is 20. Dodecahedron, right? Dodecahedron shaped puzzle. Okay, at first I thought this kind of, I thought it was like a 12 by 12 Rubik's Cube. But it's not a 12 by 12, it's like this, right? It's like this Mega Minx. This one. I had no internet a few months ago and tried to learn to solve the six-sided one again, but gave up after 3-5 minutes at the same point I stopped before. I just got the base and second layer, but the last layer I just stopped. I think I'm more or less at that same stage, and I think I'm not even like a complete second layer. This one does look pretty crazy. An 11 by 11 has to be expensive, right? How much is this? €30. I mean, there are then like different quality, whatever. So okay, this one is cheaper. This one is like €12. Let's see if they are in Amazon. Well, let's check. On the Cathedral is called Mega Minx. It's just like a 3x3 with some additional pieces. Pretty funny. Interesting. Pillow. Moju 11 by 11. Let's see. Oh, €43. Not that expensive. I mean, still kind of pricey, but I thought it would be like 150 or something. It has to be so fun to like try to turn it. Es ist wirklich gut, aber Sie müssen vorsichtig mit der Kraft sein, die Sie anwenden, da es leicht auseinanderfallen kann. Ich habe es mit einiger Schwierigkeit zusammengebaut, aber hier ist der Tipp. Warten Sie mehrere Tage, bis es ankommt, und investieren Sie eine ordentliche Menge Geld. Sie müssen sehr vorsichtig sein. É muito bom, mas é preciso tomar cuidado com a força que coloca, pois ela não monta facilmente. Consegui montar, com certeza dificuldade, mas fica a dica. Esperar vários dias para chegar a gastar bom dinheiro. Precisa ser bem cuidadoso. Taihen omoshiroi. I can't read kanji. Hayakute. This kanji I can read. AliExpress san no ni mo taihen. Arigatou gozaimashita. Good. This one turns pretty good, so I like it, but my six-sided one genuinely sucks to turn. Now 11 by 11 are more cheap than a few years ago. We have the YJ1 and it was like 110. Whoa. You think I'd get more motivation if I bought a better 3x3? Oh, absolutely. But no, because it's new or better necessarily, just for the motivation of use of the new cube. But don't buy it just for that, only if you feel it will be better and more enjoyable. I mean, if you like fidgety toys, getting one that turns well is probably like a good idea, right? Even if you are not going to like learn to solve it, just if it turns good is like a good object in general, right? My main 3x3 for a few years is a custom one by hand from Juki Mods, which sadly doesn't exist anymore, and I'm still using it sometimes for fun and goes pretty nice, but it's pretty weird. Pretty worn, right? Okay. Mostrar. Oh yes, now I'm using an RS3 B5 bulk core. It's pretty cheap for how fast and fidgeting it is. Let's see. I don't really have ambitions or any desire to something for that matter, so I'm rather looking for someone I could put into time that I would really enjoy doing. Instead of just sitting at the PC for 14 hours a day and sleeping the rest if I don't have work. Moju RS3M V5. Oh, Moju Mini. Mini bread cube. Mm. 2x2. I feel like I could solve a 2x2. I love the turning of Mojus. Moju Meilong 3C stickerless. Moju Meilong 3M magnetic. Qi, I guess. Qi, YJ Qilong Mini 3x3 magnetish stickerless. GAN 11M Pro 60 euros. I guess this cube just turns itself, right? You set it on the table and it does itself. GAN 356M 3x3 magnetic. GAN Bluetooth, what? Qi MS magnetic. What the fuck? Scoop. S-Cube. I think I remember you talking about X-Cube sometimes. I think maybe with Javi, right? The Qilong Mini was Martha's main for a few times. GAN is like the Apple of cubes, not necessarily better. If you want, I teach you to solve 3x3 in less than an hour. Maybe one day I'll take you up on the offer. What is the Bluetooth part in a cube? I guess it tells you when it's solved or something. So you can time it without the fucking, right? Moju Meilong Mini. No, Chino Mini. I like the keychain thing though. Black Kirin. Whoa. What does magnetic mean? Like, is it better or is it just another thing? And like, if it's not magnetic, what is it? You know what I mean? It's just mechanic, right? It has like this fucking core with like bits all over, right? And it turns physically. And magnetic, I guess it does a little bit different or something. Mojo. Bluetooth Cubes has sensors to track your movements and can teach you some things and let you know some statistics like your turn per second TPS. Is a lot better. What do you mean is a lot better? Magnetic. Now everything is magnetic. Is mechanic but used magnets to a more easier alignment of the layers while turning. Do you use a Bluetooth Cube for like turns per second or something like this? Or not really? Mojo with Hawaii. Hostia. 50 páginas de Mojos. Mojo Mini 3x3. But this is not the main long. No, you said Chilo. Chilo no. By 3 Mini. Sticker like 16 pavels. How mini is it? Große von 50 mm. Sí que tengo una regla, de hecho, mira. Qué mini. They also use maglev, which has two annular magnets around the screw in each faces instead of a spring, and the bulk core ones has additional magnets for better alignment. Whoa. Yo, it literally has my cards here. Zauberwürfel. Magnetische Zauberwürfel. Megamenx, Pegamenx, Scube. Neocube. Yo, yo. Schmink set. What? Schmink set, makeup, Spiel, kit, cosmetic set for Mädchen. I have a Bluetooth one, but usually I don't train with it because it is illegal in competition and turns it a bit worse. And if I want to know the TPS of a good solve, I simply reconstruct it. I count the moves manually, there's a good pace to solve this. I simply reconstruct it. Yeah, okay. Hostia. It's 9:15. I'm going to go have dinner. I did reach the top of my list, right? Screen policy I used to put the idea. Yeah, I think for today, I'm done. Maybe one of these days, I will take you up on the offer, Rafa, and I will ask you to teach me in less than an hour. Interesting challenge. And yeah. Or maybe outside of stream or whatever. Because I do want to learn. I'll probably order one of these days one cube. And when it arrives, I'll let you know. And yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow I will probably stream again. Unless I have to call my mom and it's like an awkward time and then I don't want to. Something like that. Unless something like that happens, I'll probably stream again and record. Probably like the topic of the stream will be either have one of these topics. Probably the second one, this one, open loops. I also would like to stream like, I guess New Year's resolutions, right? New Year's resolutions. I have those topics still pending. And like review of past year's resolutions, those things. So something like this, or something like this open loops one. Then on Sunday, I'll do the classic week review for these 2 past weeks. That one I will definitely do. And maybe I will combine them and I don't do yesterday, tomorrow, sorry. We'll see. Was funny to be here in time for a pleasure as always. Tomorrow I'm at a friend's probably, so you probably will not be there. Just a heads up. Okay. Have fun with your friends tomorrow. Have a good weekend, everyone. It was a pleasure to have you here, Rafa, as well. And yeah. Bye-bye. I'm going to drink something because I'm spent. Also, I've been kind of like sick this